Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. Read the Charts, episode 17, how to use the fear chart and use it to potentially spot bottoms. I figured we'd talk about fear and spotting bottoms and how to use the fear and greed index to your advantage. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up the fear and greed index for you guys. I want you to go to www.cnn.com markets/fear and greed, or just look up fear and greed index CNN. Either or works. Then what you'll see this. Okay, we're at extreme fear 20. Go to timeline and you'll see a chart of how we fluctuate, right? The market fluctuates up and down. What does the greed and fear index do? It also goes up and down, up and down. When people are scared, that's when it's time to buy, especially when they're very scared. Extreme fear, that's where you get the biggest buying opportunities. And I'm going to show you. So anytime we go into extreme fear, specifically extreme fear, and we go under 10, here we went under 10 to a low of 4, extreme fear, April 7th, April 5th, we went to under 10 extreme fear. Let's see what happened to the stock market as a whole on the beginning of April. Let's look at SPY, the top 500 companies, and let's see what happened in April. Let's just take a look. So this is the beginning of April right here. April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th. You can see what happened. What happened? Turns out that was the bottom. And what followed after was all this. And you would have made a lot of money if you bought good companies at cheap prices. So right now we're in extreme fear of 20. Even right now, this is where you buy. Everyone is scared. Oh my God, I'm scared. Oh no, I'm shaking. I'm shaking because there should be a discount index or something. Like, people hate discounts in the markets. Can you believe that? Can you believe people hate discounts? Can you believe they wake up and they're shaking? They're checking their accounts every, hour, overnight, pre-market. They wake up and they check it right away. You don't got to deal with any of that because this is just part of the game. We go into extreme fear under 10. That's the bottom. So guess what? We're in extreme fear of 20. If this goes to extreme fear and it holds under 10, that is a huge, that means you're buying at that means we just had a huge crash, number one. We just crashed, but it could be followed by an even bigger one, which would send what? People into panic. They panic sell, and we buy what they sell. And then they panic buy in the bull market, and they push it up higher for us, and we make our money, dump it on their heads. Rinse and repeat. So just like doing technical analysis, you would take your fear and greed index, and I just gave you the strategy. If fear and greed index goes under 10, load up. Just keep buying. If it goes into extreme fear, buy more, really. Too many people trying to time bottoms, but that's not how this works. If it was easy to time bottoms, we'd all do it. Okay, so I want you to take your snip tool, because you can't really do chart analysis on this. And there you go. Now you have a copy of it. Grab your, let's use no, we can't use white. Let's grab a pink, whatever, pink. And you can see, oops. Okay, yeah, all right, it works. So you can see right here on the fear and greed index, what happened before we bottomed in April. We were doing what? We were downtrending on the fear and greed index. And guess what's happening again? We are downtrending in the fear. In fact, the fear and greed, the fear is getting steeper, as you can see. But if you know how to do technical analysis, boom, you see that at some point we're going to break out and go higher and go into extreme greed, euphoria. Everyone's happy. Everyone's excited. Oh my God, it's everything's great, everything's so great, it's, you know, it's not the end of the world, it's oh my god, everything to the moon, right? And then at some point we top out and we go into that same rinse and repeat cycle. So you can do technical analysis on the fear and greed index just like you do any chart, any data. Do you see the pattern? It's almost like we keep falling lower and lower, but eventually we are going to bottom out. And that means the market's going to bottom out. And then we're going to go into a huge cycle of euphoria. Everyone's happy. Oh my God, we just keep going up. Extreme greed. Oh my God, this is it. This is the, you know, greatest time of my life. Oh my God, I hope it never ends. It's never going to end. Everyone's mom and dad and, you know, teenage daughters, sons, they just start jumping into the markets even though they don't know what the hell they're doing. People at IHOP, Uber drivers suddenly start taking out loans, right? So I believe we will be bottoming out unless this is a bear market. Bear markets are the exception. But if it's not a bear market, we should recover. We should recover by Christmas. Let me put it that way. We'll get our Christmas rally, and this is nothing more than a dip buying opportunity. But that's about it. You just do your technical analysis, and remember, if it drops under, if we go into extreme fear, it's already, you're getting a good buying opportunity. If it drops under 10, extreme fear under 10, that has always been a moneymaker. This is why people say buy the fear. Let the panicans, let the people panic sell. You buy what they're selling, and then they'll panic buy on the way up and push it up for us, and we'll make lots of money. That's it. Because people are emotional. And the cycles repeat. Once you understand this, once you understand that cycles repeat and you're buying good companies, it's infinite. It's an infinite money glitch. Requires extreme patience, which obviously people don't have, right? People go into the markets because they want the extreme greed, right? They want the extreme greed. They want the euphoria. They want the high of making lots of money fast. So that's why you see a lot of people get destroyed. If only more people had patience, right? If only. But that's not how this game is played. So unfortunately, we will never have a market where everyone is just holding and not selling off. There's always going to be people who panic because they don't know any better. So yeah, you just do technical analysis like you would with any stock, right? This is the top. This is the bottom, previous bottom right here, right? Here's another bottom. Here's another bottom. So we already broke this support, so we don't need that. And we're right here. So we're headed towards a very, very important level. And that's really what's gonna dictate whether we break down and go into extreme fear under 10 or if we hold above it. Either way, as long as you're buying in extreme fear, you are gonna make hand over fist money every single time. Every single time. It's just the only exception is a bear market. But again, if you have the patience and you understand how bear markets work, then you're like, oh, a bear market, cool. I get Palantir at $5. I get SoFi at $3. I get Riot at $2. Like you get all your favorite stocks at massive discounts. So there you go. People are humans and they're emotional. This is why the fear and greed index exists. If you know how to use it appropriately and use technical analysis, you will be able to do what I just did. Of course, as always, you got to practice. Don't expect to just go in and know immediately what's going on. But let me just grab my pen here. And there you go. A nicer line. So what do you think is going to happen, right? If this is the top where everyone was experiencing euphoria and greed, and then we just crashed after we reached the top here at 75, and now we're headed towards extreme fear, headed towards 10, 15. We're already at 20. What do you think? Do you like buying the bottom or buying the top, right? Buy the bottom or buy the top? Bottom or top? I don't know. I like big bottoms. I like buying the bottom, right? So even just using simple horizontal lines to mark out the levels, it's pretty clear and obvious, at least to me, where we're supposed to buy. Classic buy the bottom, sell the top. This is why I keep telling people, be patient, keep buying as it gets cheaper. We're not going to go down forever, just like we're not going to go up forever. If this does happen to be a bear market, which we kind of are due for one, because we get those every few years, then awesome. I'm going to get, that's where you make a lot of money in a bear market if you know what you're doing. Because you get to buy Palantir at like $5, and then it goes to 150 or 200. You get to buy SoFi at $3, and it goes to 25. Like, this is where you really start. This is like bear markets are where you make your 5 to 10 to 20x easy, because everything gets so heavily discounted. So there you go. That's all I got to say. Fear and greed index, take advantage of it. If you don't see the patterns, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm showing you a literal, classic buy the bottom, sell the top.